So are you in Las Vegas or somewhere else right now?
I am in Las Vegas,
Okay. So to tap for the Atlantic City show, is it going to be similar to Vegas, or are you doing things a little differently?
Well, I think that since we haven't performed in Atlantic City, I think it's, I've done it solo. I know Donny's done his solo show there as well. But I think there are certain elements that people would want to see, like some of the hits and things like that will be similar. But, you try to always make something a little bit different every place you go. We're getting ready to do a show over in the UK that'll be very different. But it will have a Vegas kind of a feel to it. It'll be very entertaining. Atlantic City is similar in that way,
Do the banter between the two of you, do you know what you're going to say, or do you try to stay in the moment and sort of have it be come out whatever comes out?
Well, I think you have certain things that you have to have set to set up a song or to do whatever, but even within the body of that, it's different every night. It just really depends on the audience. We kind of come from the old school philosophy of just playing off the audience. I mean, I grew up working with people like Frank Sinatra and Sammy Davis Jr. and Dean Martin, and when it really, you can tell an audience, it's just how do you work a room and get everybody to enjoy themselves by the end of your hour and a half, 2 hours.
Right. And I guess every audience, there's some little quirk that you have to sort of respond to or figure out.
Everybody's different. It's just it's fun, Hey, we always have a good time, but when they have even more fun, we have even more fun. So it's just it's just come to have a good time. That's what we do.
Right.
One of the things we've been finding here in Vegas is that our audiences, we're getting a lot of 35-year-olds, 20-year-olds coming to the show now, and they're loving it. But it's a very eclectic show. Some people play a lot of instruments. I play a lot of vocal stuff in the show. I've been touted as a little bit country. I guess I started that, in the 70s. But we do Broadway tunes. I do I do opera. I sing all kinds of musical styles within the show. So, my voice is kind of unique in the sense that I can do those things. And I think people really enjoy just the entertainment value. We have great dancers, great crew. It's a really fun show. I think you'd enjoy it.
The two of you obviously have known each other for a very long time.
Probably as long as I've been born.
Yeah, that's we won't say how long that is because we don't want to go there, but no, teasing. So what do you think the key is after, you worked together, didn't work together, and now you've been back for a while? So what's the key to the chemistry between the two of you? Is that brother-sister kind of fun kind of rivalry?
I said on CNN the other day, I said that Donny goes, yeah, we have a chemistry. And I said, yeah, it's kind of like an acid pill. Definite chemistry. But, I think there's always that sibling relationship, and I really don't know of anybody else who is a sibling team out there. I know that the Carpenters were, but, I have said that, Donny could learn from Richard because he never talked. And Donny said I could learn from Karen because, she could sing. And so, but other than that, I think that we're really the only kind of brother-sister. And maybe there's a familiarity or something that people can relate to, that sibling. But, after 28 years of not working together and coming back, and we've done, many things on our own.
Right, sure.
Besides before, getting back together. But there is I don't know, you just kind of know what the other person's thinking. If somebody makes a mistake, the other one picks up for you. You just kind of know you have your back covered. And I think that we're having more fun than we actually thought we would have. We're family. We love each other. But, sometimes it's not always the easiest to work with family. But in our case, I think it's been fantastic. We've really had a good time. Obviously, we're doing other shows. We're going to UK and Atlantic City and places like that. We even have a Christmas show that we're doing now because we're having such a good time.
Oh, great, yeah. And is the Vegas gig going to continue, or is that ending soon? Because you have your talk show coming up too, right?
Right. Well, we're signed now to the end of 2012. We figure end of the world. What the heck, right?
Yeah.
And we just got voted the best show in Vegas, best entertainers, best vocalists. So we're very, very honored by that. We keep saying 5 decades, and our last single just went #1, and So we feel very grateful right now, very fortunate.
Right. So after 2012, you don't know if you're going to continue in Vegas, or that remains to be seen, or?
Well, there's talk right now, and there's nothing contractually. No.
Gotcha. Okay, that's fine. And I have a question that might be a little bit delicate, but I think you can handle it. The ballroom dancing situation. Now, are you going to be doing any dancing with Donny on this show? And are you still bitter that he got the trophy and you didn't? So.
No, I'm never bitter. I'm just better. We know the girls do all the dancing. The guys just stand there and pose and hold their arms while they do all the splits and kicks and everything else. So, I made it in the final, so I figure we're pretty even.
Right. Okay, well, that's a good, I might call it a rationalization, but that's good. Yeah, I can go with that.
Besides, when I passed out, I hit my head so hard, I did win. Do you have a problem with that? No.
No problem at all.
But I tell him, I even joke around in the show, it's like, he goes, it's not, boys don't. I said, Donny, do a split. And then I'll take my leg and I'll put it like above my head. I'll say, do that. And he can't. I said, so let's talk about this here for a minute. It's fun. We have fun with it.
So can we talk a little about your return to TV, the talk show?
Sure.
Interested in trying that again, and what you have in mind for the TV show.
I'm actually heading down Monday. We're going to start cutting all our promos and everything else. It's with Hallmark. The saying when you care enough to give the very best, or send the very best. They sent me the best invitation, and so it's going to air October 1st. I was very excited when they asked me if I would be willing to do a show. It's something that, I don't know, you get to a certain place in your life, and you go through enough things. I think that women, I want it to be the kind of show where we complete each other, not compete against each other. And I've kind of said that I don't want it to be so much about talking about the red carpet as much as helping women feel like they're walking their own red carpet in their life, instead of comparing our worst to somebody's best. Just to really talk about and have fun. I want it to be a fun show. If you're going to make an appointment for television, one of the things I do have is I have a good time. People seem to like, I'm a New York Times bestselling author, and a lot of my books are, I don't know, I have kind of an Irma Bombeck-ish kind of I like that kind of humor. I'm kind of dry. And and so that's kind of how I want to approach it, just kind of fun and humorous and laughing information and also really wonderful stories, uplifting things. I'm one of the founders of Children's Miracle Network, and there's lots of great stories out there to be heard and wonderful things to be talked about.
So a little Oprah-esque, but in the Marie style, would you say, or
a little what? I'm sorry, you broke up.
I'm sorry, a little Oprah kind of esque feeling to it, but very much.
I don't.
At the same time.
I would never compare myself to Oprah. I wouldn't compare myself to anybody.
Yeah.
I think it's just me. It's just kind of my personality and just the things that I think matter. And I never had a sister. I think it's important to have a sisterhood. It's one of those, one of those things where I see where women just kind of, like I said, they compete against each other, and I don't think we have to. And the guys can listen too.
And you're still in the doll business, I guess. That's still going strong?
21 years.
Why do you think you've sort of found this great niche with that?
I think that anything that you have a true passion for, it's what I tell my children. I think a lot of kids say, like, well, I'll go into this profession because they make a lot of money. I don't think that works. I think you have to go into something because you have a passion for it, and the money will come, and the success will come if you believe in it. I've always loved it because I believe it brought, generations together. It's something that a grandmother can talk to her granddaughter about, or an aunt with her niece, or even a mother, if they started out as children, even when they're teenagers, it's something they can do together. So I like it. It's a lovely thing, and I can't believe it's 21 years. Isn't that crazy? I'm doing a special thing here at the Flamingo for the month of July. On Saturdays, I'm going to be doing private signings of my sold-out editions, number 3s and 4s, for my collectors to celebrate 21 years of doll designing.
Well, that must be fun for the collectors.
I think it's going to be really fun for them because they've never been put out into the public, none of my 3s and 4s. So it's just kind of a way to thank them.
And the last thing I wanted to just ask you about is sort of this interesting moment in your life. You've sort of come full circle in your personal life by, I guess, remarrying your first husband. And, I'm curious, a lot of the things that have happened in your life have been in the headlines, and I wonder if you ever get used to that, or is it something you just accept as part of, being in show business, or are there times when you wish people didn't know that you had just remarried your first husband, or how do you feel about that kind of stuff?
After 5 decades, you kind of, you just kind of go, gosh, people are so interested in me, how sweet, I feel like I have an amazing fan base. People, they're incredible. From my people who follow me on Facebook and Twitter and everything else. And maybe from the books, like I was the first celebrity to write about postpartum depression, and then other celebrities followed, like Brooke Shields and people like that. But I've always kind of shared my life. I feel like, I don't have secrets. I do think that my children's lives are private. They're not an entertainer, so their lives should be private. If they want to talk about something, that's their prerogative. But I don't know. No, I think it's kind of funny. I mean, who would have thought? Here we are, 8 years later, and we're back together, and it's wonderful. It really is. It's incredible to. It's nice to be happy. The last marriage that I had for 20 years was not a happy one, and so my children are happy. They love him, and it's nice to have that peace in your life. I'll tell you.
Sounds like you're in a good spot right now.
Life is good. Always challenges, but life is good.